Hey guys,
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is Summer's Funnest Summer House podcast. Hooray! Um, we're
We're
almost at the
basically,
season
yeah,
finale.
who
We're
knew?
s- we're episode
11.
11 of season 5. We thought there was going to be a lot more. There's a lot less, so there's that. But that's fine. I feel like nothing happens on Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays or Thursdays, really. So this season needed to be cut. I don't know, whatever.
I think we got all the good stuff out of it. So I'm happy that they
Yeah.
aren't like dragging it out. But I was just shocked that we were only getting 12 because season 4 was such a hit that I heard Bravo ordered extra episodes. And clearly they either didn't make it happen or I don't know. We're ending with 12.
Whatever. But let's talk about us for a second. So everyone go follow our Instagram first off at Vanderpasta.
Alicia's posting some great content, getting lots of likes.
Listen, not only has Lindsay Hubbard liked my photos, but Kyle Cook has liked my photos. So I feel like such a celeb. It's been nothing but fantastic.
Basically a Z-list celeb at this point. We're just moving up the ranks.
Oh my God, we've made the alphabet. We're so excited. This is the best thing in the world. Also join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. Let me tell you what you can get off the top of my head because I don't have it pulled up and I'm not going to pull it up. So for only $1 a month, you will get access to our pre-show, which is where Meredith and I just discuss anything and everything that we fucking care about. You might not care about it.
Why Alicia does not give two shits today.
Yeah, you might not care about it. We care about it. Sometimes we don't care about it. It's whatever. And then you'll also get access to any episodes we record early. So like for Vanderpump, we've gone back and done old seasons. So
that's where you can find
season
those. 1 of Summer House.
Oh my God. Now that we're close to the season finale of Summer House, we're going to have to go back. And honestly, I'm pumped for season 1. That was insane.
Me too.
It was weird.
I've never seen it. So
oh my God, we have a Summer House season 1 virgin. So we have that. And then what else do we do? Oh, and then for $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus you get access to our after shows, which is also related to like episodes that we go back and do. So we do those episodes spoiler free. So then all the spoilers are in our after show. And then we'll also say your name on the podcast. So this is where we shout out our $2 patrons and say thank you to Tracy, Mariah, Jackie, and Dustin. Woo! Yes. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you are able to tell us your thoughts. So for live seasons going on that we record about, so like obviously this season is live, I always ask our $5 patrons for their thoughts. So we have some thoughts from Jackie this episode, and we can't wait to talk about it. And then we also have patron of the episode, but since our 2 $5 patrons are married and they're our podcast parents, we shout them both out, which is Jackie and Dustin. Hooray! Also,
hip hip hooray.
Rate, subscribe, review. We've gotten some more ratings, it looks like. Some of you have given us 2-star ratings, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous because we're at least 3
shots fired.
I know. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And whoever you are didn't leave a review. So I'm just going to call you the worst because you don't even tell us what we're doing wrong. You just put the $2 or 2 stars.
2 stars.
2 stars and give us nothing. So whatever. But we did get another 5-star review from Twitterless. Ooh. And it's titled 5-Star Fun. And it says, recommend this podcast if you're an SH fan.
Love.
Yes.
Huzzah.
Yes. Also, I'm looking really quick. I don't mean to like be off topic, but when you scroll down on Apple Podcasts and you can see other podcasts that you might like.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? There's one that's called Wanna Be on Top, and it's a top model podcast.
Oh,
you want to be
really?
on top? But there's another one called Not Skinny But Not Fat. Someone stole my tagline.
That's already been around.
I'm pissed.
That's what I thought you were
that's my tagline from
taking it from.
Ducks. That's my
Dux.
tagline from. No, it was from Dux. The
the cookie dough.
Cookie dough.
If you want to know what we're talking about, go listen to our Vanderpump Rules season 3, Secrets Revealed.
Oh, that's a Patreon exclusive. And that was honestly hilarious. That's going to be better than this episode we're about to do because that was just so funny. I was in such a mood. Okay. Today I'm not in that mood. Go find out why on our pre-show. Let's talk about previously on Summer House. We had a boat day. Stephen came to win back Lindsay, but Lindsay doesn't know if she wants to be won back, despite what she said about wanting to be won back, which is just a whole nother blah. That's how I feel about Lindsay. Robert is here to see Danielle, and she's so nervous, and I'm so obsessed with this couple. Des is also here to see Hannah, and they have sex everywhere, and they become official boyfriend girlfriend, but Luke is super unsure about it, and Des and Hannah had a sex journey in Amanda and Kyle's bathroom and or bed. I'm confused.
I think just the bathroom. I think they were making
that's what I think too. Okay, great. So we pick up right after where we left off after boat day. Paige is hammered. Most other people are also hammered, but mostly Paige. I just want to say Danielle and Robert are so cute, and I have those notes throughout the episode. They're just so wholesome.
They're normal. They're very normal.
And then, okay, so we're in the hot tub, and Paige just found out that Hannah and Des had sex in the bathroom. And
when this episode started, I was like, wait, I was like so confused. I thought we were just still in previously on forever. And then I was like, oh no.
Oh, this is the actual episode.
Redoing a bunch of stuff.
Well, Paige is told not to tell anyone. I thought Paige was going to tell someone, but she ends up not. Whatever. But also, I think Hannah thinks it's funny. Like, the way she was talking about it, she was very much like, oh, ha, ha, ha. Like,
well, and she was saying, like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, that bathroom's way more gross than anything I did in it. Like, I just don't think she really has boundaries.
But, like, Paige and Sierra are both like, don't let Kyle find out.
Yeah.
And then Paige is super drunk and she passes out in her bed. So then
in her closet bed.
So it becomes nighttime. Everyone's partying except Paige, who's passed out, obviously, and Hannah and Des, who are hanging out in Hannah and Paige's room. And she's showing Des her boobs. They're super weird. This is my thing. Obviously, it works because they're engaged now. But it seems like on the show, they don't actually have any kind of hardcore conversation. They just have sex or almost sex.
I mean, also think like they're probably editing that stuff out because that's not giving any interesting things. It's just all about them being alone and sleeping together, and then everybody else being together. That's the story.
I guess. Well, whatever. Okay, so then it's time for bed. Sierra needs to clean her fucking room. Des and Hannah have sex. I can't with Sierra's room. I straight up cannot.
Every time I see it now, I'm like, Alicia's probably pissed.
Listen, I'm looking at my room right now and it's not clean, but my bed doesn't have anything on it.
My bed has a book I'm reading.
But you could throw, she sleeps with stuff on her
bed.
There's
a whole person's worth of clothes.
I cannot.
A mound of a human being.
Drunk Kyle is my favorite. He tries to get frosted mini wheats out of this plastic container. And
Amanda's
like, what are you doing? Come to bed. And he's like, the frosted mini wheats are stuck.
Also, when he lays down, they're on one side of the bed. I'm like, spread out.
Oh my God. They are so funny. Robert ate a peach ring and didn't give any to Danielle. The drama.
I love this. And they're stale too. Cute. They're not even good.
She's literally smelling his breath and is like, did you eat a peach ring? And he's like, yeah. And she's like,
I told you about it.
You didn't give me one? And he's like, I didn't think to give you one. And it was a whole discussion.
He was like, I literally just told you about how they were stale. I just told you I ate one.
It was so cute. So cute. And then Lindsay and Steven start watching a movie and then start making out. And they're so hammered. they love each other until infinity and beyond. And they become boyfriend and girlfriend. And then they fuck. And then they talk about maybe 69ing. That's like it.
We went from 0 to 100 with them being not together to
they were
together.
They were not even dating. And now they're like fully in a relationship.
They are all the way.
Of a sudden. They also do not discuss anything. They just have sex.
Yeah, they really don't.
They discuss things while having sex.
Yes.
So we wake up the next morning. It's Saturday. The sun is so bright in Kyle and Amanda's room. I hate it.
That was really wild. I'd be pissed.
Oh my God.
That was my room.
Robert and Danielle cuddle. Hannah humped Dez's leg in her sleep. Paige finally emerges from being a dead person. Carl is not hungover. I need to get on Carl's level because I am hungover. And Steven's now able to unpack because Lindsay gave him the A-OK. Because he's finally showing up for the relationship.
We are now either hungover or sober and realizing we are back in a relationship. So
we are in
Steven is here to stay.
And then Luke and Robert play some tennis. So fun. So Amanda's talking to Sierra about how she can't wait to get back to the city. And this is when Sierra says she doesn't know if she's going to go back to New York.
Either way, she misses working.
Yeah, she can't wait to work as a nurse again.
Being out of work, like from going from like a pandemic nurse to just sitting by a pool would just be super hard.
I'd be bored.
Especially because everyone around you is still working.
Yeah, so there's not even anything you can do during the day. Also, in a pandemic, there's not much else you can do. Honestly, I think both of us would like be so sad if we couldn't work during the pandemic. Like we would just be bored.
Dude, I'm bored and I am working.
Yeah, but hopefully Sierra stays in New York. I'm pretty sure she does because she's still there now.
But yeah, she talks about maybe like Instagram getting a contract in Atlanta, going there for a minute, and then I'm sure she would always end up back in New York, though.
Yeah, I think she's there now. Her and Paige hang out a lot on Instagram, at least.
She's part of the Bravo crew, you know. Like I think she's coming back next year for Summer House.
I can't wait. I like her. And then what else? Amanda and Kyle are kind of planning their wedding. Oh, because they're in the kitchen. And Kyle's there, and Sierra's like, how's your wedding planning going? And they're like, it's fine. New date is June 18th, 2021. We'll have to remember and celebrate that day, Meredith.
Yes.
They spend so much time together. They're basically already married, which I get. And honestly, this is the best Amanda and Kyle have ever been.
Well, it's crazy to hear them kind of talk about how much involved, like, to really have them, like Amanda lay it out that they live together, they work together, and like planning a wedding is a lot of stress too. I imagine that adding a third thing on their plate and they're still doing so well and having to constantly replan their wedding. I'm actually really shocked at how well they're doing, but I love it. I couldn't handle craziness between them.
I don't think there's been a season before that I've been like, I'm super on board to Kyle and Amanda, but this is it.
They just seem very happy and normal.
Yes.
Our phases of couples is going to be normal and not normal this episode. Amanda and Kyle are in the normal bucket with Danielle and Robert. Really happy about these things.
Let's talk about unnormal. Hannah and Des want nothing to do with Luke. Because, okay, so Luke basically is like, I want Hannah to be happy, but also Des is probably using Hannah because he's a washed up comedian.
Which I think that is
big. That's kind of false. I think Luke's somewhat bitter.
Yes.
But I don't think he's bitter that him and Hannah aren't together. I think he's bitter that Hannah was talking to Des while she was making a big deal
and then tried to bury Luke. Her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Luke does miss having Hannah as a friend, and she's like cut him off completely.
It's weird. It's all weird. But now it is Saturday afternoon. And it's Derby Day.
I'm hyped. I love the Derby. Kentucky Derby.
Kentucky Derby. Kentucky Baducky. Do you watch the Derby? Like
I usually do. I didn't this year because it was like since it was Labor Day instead of May. It was just like a really weird time. But normally I do, and I just like think the Derby is so fun.
I never watched the Derby, so this is fun when other people watch the Derby and I watch it. So they're getting ready. All the Derby stuff's delivered. Amanda has the nicest ass on the show. I cannot get enough. I think I have a girl crush. Okay, so everyone's setting up. Danielle helps Lindsay pick out an outfit, and they have a cute talk. Also, Lindsay has a cute hat. So Robert and Danielle are not having sex because Danielle's trying to take it slow because her last relationship was 10 years ago, and I kind of get that because my last relationship was God knows how long ago.
Yeah.
And also Robert's just trying to warm up to the house.
Which I also think is code for like, also there's like cameras around and he's not used to this whole situation. Not even like the people. It is like the environment.
The situation. Like knowing that you can get caught having sex on camera.
Yeah, like, I don't think I would, as someone, especially coming from the outside, would be on board with that.
Amanda's like this. She really doesn't want to have sex on camera.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we've seen Amanda and Kyle have sex once. Which is fine. Honestly, I would prefer not watching all these couples weirdly have sex under the covers, but I get it. Robert, you do you. Lindsay tells Danielle that she got back together with Steven, even though it was drunk, and Lindsay just says it feels different.
Danielle's like, are you okay with that now that you're sober? And she's like, I mean, I woke up and remembered it. And yeah, I mean, things are so different. Lindsay keeps saying things are different with Steven, which I haven't really seen anything different.
No.
But whatever Lindsay wants to believe.
Danielle's kind of like that. She tries to be supportive, but thinks Lindsay is like high on romance.
Yeah.
And openly says like she doesn't think Steven's the guy for her. And Lindsay disagrees. She sees this new Steven that's none of us see, but okay, whatever. Enjoy yourself. But okay, let's talk about outfits really quick. I just wrote down Amanda, 10 out of 10.
She was in that green dress, the mint green, long sleeve. So cute. Adorable.
I wrote Ann Sierra, 10 out of 10.
She was in a really tight, strapless, like flower like sequins.
Mm-hmm. So cute. I wrote down Lindsay's boobs.
Yes, because she was in that purple like blazer dress.
Blazer thing.
Really low cut.
Oh my God, her boobs were out and about.
Yep.
I wrote down Paige in her hat because she had a hat the size of fucking Saturn.
Yes. She was also in a really cute light pink dress that had like polka dots. And she said on Instagram it was actually Amanda's.
So cute. I wrote down Danielle and Robert are the cutest couple because they walked in and they were just so cute. Robert looked handsome. Yeah, he looked so handsome. Danielle was like in a cute long dress, if I remember.
She was in like a skirt and then a one shoulder tank top, like white bodysuit.
I wrote Luke's vest.
He walked up very dirty.
Very cute. He looked very cute. Carl was in a bow tie.
Loved.
And then I literally wrote, what the fuck is Steven wearing? And then Paige roasted Steven and says he looks like he owns a gondola in Italy and he's going to ask us who's on next.
I love that because Paige was like, normally I don't comment on people's outfits because I'm a nice person.
She's an outfit person. She knows.
Yes. And listen, everybody's style is different. But yes, her read on Steven was everything I needed.
I just love that I wrote down what the fuck is Steven wearing, and then the next part was Paige roast Steven's look. Like it was before Paige even mentioned anything. Honestly, too, I didn't think Hannah and Des looked too. I mean, like Hannah was in that jumpsuit, kind of like
it was like a matching set. It was like a crop top,
and like pants.
The pants, which it was very cute, but it wasn't.
It wasn't derby. It wasn't derby, and Des looked like any other schmuck on the.
He just looked like he was like slightly preppy going maybe for golf.
Okay, so listen up. Everyone's gonna pick a horse out of a bowl. Carl's kind of in charge of this. Yeah, I love this too. And the winner gets $400.
Which that's it. Did they all pay in?
I think so. I don't know. Sierra wants her money, bitches. So we'll get there. But the idea is the winner gets $400. But the last two loser, so like
the last two
last
horses,
place, yes, They are gonna have to run around in horse suits at the end of this.
This
is
was
so funny.
everything for me.
This was so funny. Which Hannah and Des then mentioned that they should have sex in the horse costume, which
I'm just like, why does everything have to revolve around this? Like,
it's whatever. But Des is leaving tomorrow. He's gonna go home.
I was shocked to hear that.
Yeah, Lindsay mentions that Des has been here for 3 days and no one's really seen or met him. And I was like, no, I get that, because all they've done is have sex. Yeah, I get it.
They've just been on their own. And then he, like, Des says, like, oh, I don't want to, like, overstay my welcome. And I'm like, listen, this is just a house people are living in.
You also literally haven't, because we forgot you existed. We not we as the viewer, but if I was in this house, I would forget Des was there. He wasn't at boat day. He doesn't hang out with anyone.
Yeah, like
there.
I would get if you were there for like
2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't even know, but like it seems like they only have like 1 week left in this house, so why not just stay the last few days and get to know these people?
Let's talk about our favorite house guest, though, Robert. He becomes a bartender.
Oh my God. They are a mess without Robert, I've realized.
Robert's my favorite.
Because he helped with the food earlier. I was like, here,
and he helped with the stove. I don't know when he says it, but he helped with the stove. He unclogged the drain. Let's just talk about Robert really quick. Even Paige is like, I love having Robert in the house. He's our fucking savior.
Yes, because last episode, remember, I was like, I think the stove is broken again.
That was actually Robert who was trying to fix the stove. So... I love him. He's just so cute and wholesome to me.
Listen, he's very on Danielle's level. Like, they are not the attention grabbing people, which is fine. Like,
but they're there. They're there for a good time.
No offense to Danielle. That is why she's like the friend, because she doesn't have some major storyline, but seems like a great boyfriend housemate. Like, he is coming, he is pitching in, he's like talking to other people. Mm-hmm. Danielle isn't always by his side at every point. Like, he's meeting people too.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, I think if we were on Summer House, we would be similar to Danielle in a sense of like, we are very, not that we're like total low maintenance, but we don't like to really air our shit out in front of everyone. Not that we even have that many problems.
We'd be like
we would show up.
I think we'd be Sierra, where we're like talking with the girls about the drama in the bedroom.
I'd probably be Danielle.
I think I'd be Sierra.
I don't have Lindsay as my friend, but we just don't have that much drama to air out. Like Sierra and Danielle in that sense don't really have a ton of drama.
And I wouldn't want to
air out. No, I wouldn't on camera. I would be very chill about it. I'd probably comment on other people's drama and then like leave. Like, and then go to bed and no one would be mad at me. Like, it's fine. But whatever. I wrote down Hannah and Des are gross. I assume this was a part where
they're like making out in the kitchen.
They just cannot.
Everyone.
They cannot. Okay, so Carl ends up talking to Des, like the one person who talks to Des without Hannah. And Des thinks everyone is great, but really likes Carl because Hannah said Carl's a nice guy. It's based off what Hannah said. It's like whatever Hannah says. I don't like this. I don't either. And Carl then opens up to Des about drinking less. I don't think Des is really drinking, so I think Carl finds
because remember when you told us about Des, he's an alcoholic.
Oh yeah, he is an alcoholic.
He doesn't drink. And this gets brought up a little bit later too. Or I think earlier in the day, whenever Carl was talking about being hungover slightly, he was like, oh, I've been monitoring my drinking, so I don't really do that. Like, I have a problem. And Des was like, yep, that's why I had to stop drinking. Yeah. That I think this is something that they can really bond over. Yeah. And I do love this. But it seems like Des is only gravitating towards him because he's the most like him, which is very easy to do, but he's not giving anyone else a shot.
No, not even a little bit. And then Hannah tells the girls, so all the girls go outside on like the balcony that they have, and Hannah tells the girls that she's boyfriend girlfriend with Des, and Paige literally is just like, call me in a year when you hate your life. And I was like, poor Paige.
I was like, you're kind of being a bitch, Paige, but I feel it.
Dead inside.
That's basically like telling someone who just got married that day, like, call me when you get a divorce.
Can't wait for your divorce.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, can't wait for your divorce.
She's just so funny. I think she's just super bitter about her own relationship. That she's like, I hate everyone in happy relationships. I get it. So Des then, so they're all talking in the kitchen. This is the part. And Des says that Hannah has sent him pictures of engagement rings because they were looking at Hannah's engagement ring. This is, to me, it was very Hannah. Like, I would never do something like that. Like, if I'm dating a guy for a few months, I'd never be like, here's the engagement ring I want. But that's very Hannah to me.
I
Is to
think
be
both
like,
of them are very blunt, so this isn't weird
yeah.
to them. But
And
this
they've
is
had
weird to
full
me.
conversations about their future. And even Amanda's like, this is not normal, but it's very Hannah.
Yes, yeah. I think the problem is that like Hannah, it seems like dives in really quick. Like she keeps saying that like Luke is basically like an ex to her. And it's whatever her feelings
Yeah.
are, that's valid. But like she like is all in. If she's gonna do it, she's really gonna do it, it seems like.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that they're like talking about that. I mean, he's also what, 44, so he's at a place in his life probably ready to settle down, and that doesn't
Uh-huh.
scare Hannah clearly. That I don't think it's that weird for them to talk about it,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be there.
I wouldn't either. So then we have the horses. They're running. Oh my God. Who's gonna win? It's Sierra. Give her fucking money, bitches. And she's like, I think I'm the only single bitch in this house. Hashtag single life. But
Don't
like,
have
I
to
don't have to
split
split
that
my
money.
money.
Yeah. Well, what's
So
funny is when
funny.
they watched the horses, I was like, I don't even know who has who because they
Yeah,
didn't
no.
say, which kind of helped
Yeah.
that they didn't since this happened months ago. But I was like, I don't even know what I'm watching or who to cheer for because I
It
don't even know what's
literally,
going on.
yeah, it was just so funny. And then we got to the real part, which was the losers. So in last place was Amanda, sad. And then in second to last place was Lindsay, also sad. So Lindsay is then like, I picked Paige as my jockey. I've already picked her, but then Amanda's like, as last place, I think I get to pick first, and I also picked Paige. And I at first I was like, oh my God, Paige is so wanted, but I think it's because eventually it is brought up that like these two thought that they would have to carry this
Put them
person
on
on their
their
back.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Paige is clearly like the smallest one besides Amanda, and Amanda's in it already. So I see why
Yeah.
everyone wanted Paige. Like, I get it
Yes.
now. Because at first I was like, why would Lindsay want Paige?
I
If
know.
they're
I
like
was
not
thinking that
friends.
too. And
But
then
I get it
someone,
now.
it somehow, or I think Steven said something, and Lindsay was like, I can't carry you.
You on my back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, what if they run next to you? And then Lindsay's like, ugh, fine. So she picks Sierra. And so the jockeys go get changed, and the girls go get changed into their horse outfits. So funny. Meanwhile, Des and Hannah are making out. And this is where Des is like, hey, should we not be this affectionate? Because it might make people uncomfortable. And Hannah's like, don't care. And so they're
Which I'm
really
like,
not,
ugh.
the whole house notices that they just like excuse themselves to make out.
And this is the problem, is they are like within eyesight, or like people know where they are and they just secluded themselves. Like they are stepped away. And like on the beach, I get that they like take a moment, or like they may take moments and do like and take a kiss. Like Kyle and Amanda are pretty affectionate, but they don't make people feel weird. And everybody can, like, they're approachable to everyone, even
Yeah.
when they're sitting next to each other.
I was going to say like when shit is happening as a group like this, the horse thing was really funny. Like as a viewer, and if I was on Summer House, I would have loved to watch like Lindsay and Amanda get into their horse outfits. Like that's just a funny house activity.
Yeah.
And like that was a moment of like they could have just been involved.
Yes.
But they like
Did they even watch the race? The like
so.
Amanda and Lindsay race.
I like literally don't know. But let's talk about the race. So funny. Okay, so it's a timed race, and the rule is you must gallop like a horse, right? So they start off.
They're on they're like in the driveway. There's like that tree.
Yeah, they're like going around it 3 times. Lindsay, though, is straight up running. She's like straight up running, and Amanda's really trying to gallop. So then Amanda ends up cheating and like cutting across the field to win, which is just a stupid ass race. It's not like anyone gets a punishment for winning or losing. But Lindsay then becomes so pissed that Amanda cheated.
And Steven does too.
She's like,
Steven
they're
was
both like,
videotaping
Amanda
it.
was running.
Like, you cheated.
Yeah, you're a cheater. And they're like, Amanda was running the whole time. And I was like, maybe Amanda ran, but like, to me, it was just a stupid horse race. Like, it really doesn't fucking matter.
Let's be honest. They were both running. Who gives a shit?
And also Lindsay ran, and she's like, I didn't run, which, whatever. But she's actually pissed. I think
Yes,
she's
yes, because
drunk.
she
She's
goes
like
back
actually
to
drunk pissed.
she goes back to her room and is like throwing her costume off and is like still bitching about Amanda
Yeah.
running.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Danielle wants to grab the whip for her and Robert. She's like,
I
should
was
we
like,
use this later? And I was
oh,
like, oh my God, Danielle, calm
this is
yourself.
what
Come
made
on.
me really think like it was all because of the cameras. Like Robert didn't want to
Yeah.
do anything.
So then Des ordered pizza just for him, Hannah, and Sierra. Like
Which
they
this is
invite
like,
Sierra.
I'm like, oh
I'm sad for
God.
Sierra. Was a moment that Sierra said yes because pizza, but then didn't know what she was getting herself
Well,
into.
I'm sure she was like, yes, I do really want to get to know your significant other. And then it's like, oh, well, now I'm trapped with the two of you.
Yeah, and I mean Hannah and Sierra have a nice moment where they're like, we love this friendship, but it was also
Mm-hmm.
like awkward. And
It's
the
like,
rest
how
of
do
the
I
house,
exit myself from this
yeah, she's
situation?
like, I'm gonna go shower. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But the rest of the house is hella partying. They're taking shots, except for Carl, of course. He's in bed. But this is where we find out Robert fixed the stove and declogged the drain.
Yes.
He's amazing.
Yes.
He's the most amazing
The
human in the
best
world.
house guest. And
And then we
like,
what?
look at what Hannah and Des are missing out on. Like, these are the fun moments that you
These are
bond with
fun.
everyone.
And then all we get from Hannah and Des is we watch them have sex. And then we watch Stephen and
Again.
Lindsay have sex. And this is where Stephen said he wants to get engaged and have babies. And I was like,
I was
oh
like,
no.
why are we
Oh
doing drunk
no.
confessionals
Oh
every single
no.
night?
I
This is
hate it.
not good.
This is my nightmare. So then we wake up Sunday morning. Carl's working out. He looks good.
He
Kyle's
does.
also working out. He looks less good. Sorry, Kyle. He looks fine, but he looks less fine. And then Danielle and Robert cuddle, which is so cute. And Paige calls Perry. And Perry answers with,
Oh.
who doesn't care about me? You don't care about me. And talks about moving to Miami, which is just
Oh
not
my
great.
God.
All of it
And
was
like
not great.
Paige saying that like why you expect me to move to like Miami with you for 6 months, but you won't even come and like have one dinner, have one drink here at the house with me and doing what I'm doing.
And he doesn't live that far.
No.
But whatever.
That really put it in perspective for me. I was like, wow, I really see, sorry, spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't see social media, but
I really see
why they're not together.
Yeah, 1,000%. And then Lindsay goes to talk to Luke. And so she's talking about how much fun she had yesterday because she was drunk. And then she tells Luke that her and Steven got back together, which at first Luke is like, this is fantastic, great. And then she's like, yeah, Steven's coming inside me. And Luke is like, this is not what I asked.
This is too much information.
Thank you so much. Don't care. And she's like, yeah, and Steven wants to get engaged and have babies, which is great. And Luke's like, I have questions.
Luke's like, wait, voice of reason. Can we just wait 6 months? Yeah. Please.
And he's like, what the fuck happened from 3 days ago when he did want to get engaged and have babies? Like, I feel like Luke, where I just missed a whole spot of like this whole relationship. It really went from like, we are not together to let's have babies. And Bravo must have cut out the whole middle because I'm confused.
I think Steven drunkenly said this, thinking, I do want this with you, but he doesn't mean it right now. Like Lindsay is ready to get married and get pregnant tomorrow.
I don't know. He's coming inside her.
Dude, he's just an idiot.
Her words, not mine.
Stuff too hard. I'm just saying.
Oh no. Okay. So it's bad. So Lindsay says again, there's something different, even though it's like the exact fucking same relationship. The only difference is now Steven has admitted to wanting babies at some point. Like the only difference is Steven literally is just saying different things. And Luke is like, no, great. But this is like my past relationship. And Luke even says, like, when you get back together, you then say the things you know the other person wants to hear because you know that's what's going to keep them around.
And it's kind of like the honeymoon phase again. It's like a shortened little like happiness bubble.
But instead of taking this to heart, Lindsay then figures out her ring size.
Oh my God. She's like, I need to know my ring size. And he's like, yeah, we will do that. And she's like, no, get it now.
And so she's a 5, which is
tiny.
Great. That's very tiny. I was going to say I'm at least a 7.
I'm definitely a 7. Yeah, I was like, thank you. Okay, we need to know this now.
For any listener buying us engagement rings, we're 7s.
So
Lindsay's incredibly tiny. We have fat fingers because we eat a lot of salt. So it's fine. So it's Sunday afternoon. We're getting ready to go to the beach. Um, Paige, so they're in their cars, right? It's like car one, car two, and then car three is Hannah and Des. I don't care about
obviously.
car one and car two. They talk about the same fucking thing. But Paige in her car is saying that she feels like she hasn't seen Hannah in 3 days, and everyone really like they basically agree. They just wish like Hannah and Des would have hung out with everyone, which makes
Yes.
sense.
And they
I
all
get it. They don't
seem very
mind.
happy about them and him. Like, oh yeah, seems like a nice guy. They just wish they could have had
Known
time
him. Yeah.
spent. Yeah.
And Carl says he thinks it's just like Des's age, which makes sense. Like, here's
Yeah,
this
he's not into
guy.
this.
He's 44 years old. And what? He's going to be on this like Bravo show and like drink with everyone. And he doesn't even drink. Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't even drink.
I think
So,
he's just, this is a lot of immature stuff, like in his
yeah,
mind. He isn't into the drinking aspect. So even just like to play along is a lot for
it's
him.
hard. Yeah. Um, but everyone agrees, like, they all love Robert because Robert's chilling. He's just making
Yeah.
a good impression.
That they've gotten to know him. They're like,
Yeah. He's around.
Robert's great. And Robert says in his car, like, yeah, I know that like you guys are part of the package. Like, I need to get to know you guys too. Like,
Yeah.
you're this whole family and this whole group. Like, that's important for me to talk to
Mer.
you too, not just come
I
see her.
I love him.
I know.
So we're at beach day. Everyone's hanging out together except Hannah and Des, who of course doing their own thing. Um, so we have Paige, Sierra, and Amanda talking, and Paige talks about how she does like having her own room, but she misses Hannah. But she knows how Hannah gets with guys. Like last summer, she was obsessed with Luke. Now she's obsessed with Des. Like it's just kind of how Hannah
A one-track
operates.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah. And Paige thinks like if Luke came in this summer and said like, Hannah, I'm in love with you. I want to be in a relationship, then we would have never met Des.
Which I agree.
I agree too.
And I don't think, but Hannah won't say that and won't backtrack it like that
No,
anymore.
but she keeps bringing up, and all the girls mentioned, she keeps bringing up how Luke is jealous and blah, blah, blah. And like Luke hates Des and Luke, blah, blah, blah. And everyone's like, great, but like, who cares?
Yeah. And honestly, the only statements I feel like there was that one where Luke was like playing hockey and Hannah was down there like by the pool with him. He was like bouncing his like hockey ball up and down. And he said, you're going too fast. That's the only comment to her that I've seen makes him look slightly jealous. But honestly, the way he said it, I was like, this is very fast in Luke's perspective. So I get why he's saying that. Like, hey,
Yeah,
just be careful.
especially because at that point, Luke didn't know there was any kind of overlap.
Yeah.
He thought like him and Aunt Hannah ended 2 days ago, or like not ended, but like the drama had ended 2 days before. And then all of a sudden, Hannah was super serious with this guy, Des.
And there's this guy that's going to come. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more jealous comments coming out of his interviews, but she
I agree.
hasn't seen those yet.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's whatever. I think that's just Hannah like coping with it. And Paige supports Hannah and Des, but Hannah's doing that thing where she's making it very clear that she's with someone else in front of her ex,
which I guess, I mean, you're living together too. I guess you really have to. And she probably wants to be the upper person because Luke is the one who kind of dissed her and like didn't want to be with her. She was full in.
Yeah. So Lindsay goes to crash Des and Hannah's moment. But they end up giving each other official high fives because Lindsay's with Steven and Des and Hannah are together and we're all boyfriend, girlfriends. And Hannah approves of Steven round two. She might be the only one.
I think she is. I mean, everybody else is so confused at what the fuck's going on.
So then Des is leaving. This is where he says his goodbyes. And everyone says goodbye to Des, and then Kyle included. And then Des makes an awkward comment about how he hopes he's invited to Kyle and Amanda's wedding.
This is what I don't like is these two comedians. It's like some of their comedies digs at other people. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, Des, you're not on the level to throw this comment out there to Kyle about the wedding when Hannah and Kyle are barely hanging on.
There's straight up no need for this. And so it is so awkward. They discuss like the Hannah inviting, uninviting shit. And it's so awkward. And then Kyle reinvites Hannah. And we all just want to die.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So then let's go play bags with Danielle and Steven. So it's like the couples, but Danielle and Steven are on the same side. And
yeah,
not the same team, but bags.
Yeah,
on the same side. And Danielle tells Steven honestly, like, I have my reservations about you, but Lindsay's happy. So we'll cheers for now, but you're on my list, man. And Steven's like, great to hear. Great to know you love me. And Danielle's like, nope, but we'll
be cool.
See.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then
I like that Danielle says that she has her reservations.
Danielle's such a good friend. This would be me. I'd be like, I have my reservations about you, but cool. Yeah. I'm here for my friend.
I'm supportive. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to be here, but I'm a little worried.
Listen, someone's got to have their walls up, and it's Danielle. So Kyle and Amanda then talk. Never forget last year, Labor Day weekend.
Kyle 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years? I thought it was last summer.
No, they were engaged last summer too. Yeah.
Oh, cute. Okay, 2 years ago, Kyle proposed. And we get to relive it. And Amanda is literally sobbing in it. And I forgot how funny it is because, like, it is so cute. But also, Amanda has her ugly cry face on. And it is so funny to me. It's just a moment. It's so cute, but so funny.
I know. It makes me like so happy for them. And this is really sad because they talk about how their wedding was supposed to be in 2 weeks. And, they realize the important things. It's not about the party, like they're just really happy to be with each other. And, you can start letting the little things of your wedding day go, but they just can't wait to get married.
They're so cute. I love Kyle and Amanda.
Me too.
Okay. So then because Des is gone, Luke asks Hannah to chat. So they go to the side and they talk on this beach towel. And at first, it's kind of flirty because Luke touches her face to wipe away the sand.
What the fuck's going on?
I don't know.
This is where he doesn't have boundaries, and this is what leads people on. It's like, he just needs to be a friend and tell her to wipe her own face.
Yeah, no, it was super weird. Okay, but they talk about how Des and Hannah had a lot of sex and the relationship, and it's super awkward. And he talks about how Hannah missed boat day. But Luke gets it. It was just weird. It was just not a great conversation.
Luke's like, oh, it's a bummer we really did get to hang out with him, but I know you wanted to spend your time. So I totally respect that for him, but we wanted to see him. So that sucks. I kind of hate that. He was just very flip-floppy.
Hannah gets weird and she's like, did you like Des? And Luke's he's fine.
He seems nice.
He's not the kind of person I would call up to hang out with,
to grab a beer with.
Yeah, he seems fine.
That.
And Hannah takes it really personally. She's like, so you didn't like him? And Luke's like, I'm not saying I didn't like him, but he's just not my cup of tea. Yeah. Which again makes sense. He's 44 years old. Why would this 26-year-old call him to get a beer at any point in time? This man Des doesn't even drink. And Luke's a big drink. Why?
Luke doesn't even probably know that Des doesn't even drink.
Des didn't even hang out, right? Listen, if I'm in the summer house and Hannah's like, did you like Des? I'd have been like, honestly, I don't really know him. So he seems fine.
He seems really nice.
But also,
if you're happy, I'm happy. And I think Luke did say that. If you're happy, you seem very happy. That's great. I just don't really know him.
Why would Luke, who you call your ex, want to hang out with your current boyfriend? Why would you take it personally?
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit from because Hannah brings this up in the girls' fight. Then back at the house, Hannah's like, I don't really get it because why would Des want to hang out with Luke? Okay, well then it's the same thing for why would Luke want to hang out with Des? Why are we asking for his opinion?
Hannah took this so personally.
Yeah.
And then
if you're claiming he is so jealous and Luke is just all this and that, and he keeps throwing out all these comments about Des, then why would you ask his opinion?
Yeah. And then, I think Luke got kind of nervous at one point because he's like, oh no, I can tell Hannah's taking it kind of personally.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know. I just feel like, if I was going into the summer house, I'd want to make a great impression and go above and beyond with the friends, which I think that's where Hannah really gets upset because she's like, Des doesn't have to do that, which I totally agree. But also, I kind of think if you're going in the summer house,
I think to her, it's coming off as like it's a requirement for us to like him to like spend a lot of time with us, or like he has to please us, and that's not what he was saying.
He was just, and I get this. If I'm going into my boyfriend's summer house, I would want them to all, I'd play it like Robert, like I'd be really involved, and I'd cook, and I'd maybe try and like fix the stove.
Even
and
Sierra
shit.
did this. Like she didn't spend all her time with Luke, the one person she knew. She branched out and met everyone else and formed relationships.
And then Hannah even calls Luke her ex. She's like, well, you're my ex, so he wouldn't want to hang out with you. Which then I'm like, okay, I don't understand.
You're proving you're proving Luke's point.
Yeah, it's so bad. Okay, so now we're back at the house from beach day. We're just gonna go outside, have some chill house vibes in the backyard, eat some lobsters. It's Sunday. Amanda gives a burp that moves mountains, and then Luke walks right into it. And Amanda's like, I'm so sorry, that's my line of fire. I never stopped laughing because that's me. So Hannah and Sierra are kind of missing for a little bit, but I don't know where Sierra is. She's probably cleaning her fucking room. But
she actually, I think at this moment in time goes, I think I need to clean my room.
Thank God. Hannah's calling Des. But then
which I'm like, he just left like 3 hours ago and we're already FaceTiming him.
I would really quick like to go back. So outside, Danielle is always in like mom mode towards Lindsay, but also at some point she's just like, I know I'm in mom mode, but I don't care. Because she's literally telling Robert, she's like, Lindsay's gonna fucking fall.
She's playing soccer. Trip. Lindsay's playing soccer. And she has that weird skirt thing.
Yeah.
She's about to
Danielle's like,
trip
oh my God, she's gonna trip. But Danielle's also doing that. Like, if she trips, I don't even fucking care. But like, I know.
And she has to like turn around. Yeah.
Yeah. She turns around and Lindsay crashes into a tree.
That was amazing.
I feel like Danielle just watched it and she's like, I knew it. I'm always like, mom and I can't turn it off.
I know something bad is going to happen, but I can't fucking care.
I can't get involved. I'm not the mom, but I am. So Luke, okay, I just really want to so all the girls get together, right? They're all like, what a day. And then we get Luke starting another fire. And I would just like to say my favorite new bit is how many times can Luke start a fire this summer? It's
I think literally I think probably
every episode.
9 for 11 episodes.
Every episode.
Because I don't think he definitely did it. He wasn't there the first episode. He wasn't there
the first episode.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure he was in a fight with someone one episode and didn't start a fire.
I think fight night, he didn't start one.
This man cracks me up. Because the shot we got this time was he was like, should we start a fire? And
then he's just chopping the wood.
He's just chopping wood. He is the funniest Midwestern man. If we're outside, we must start a fire. That's so Midwestern.
I feel this.
I cannot stress enough. Okay, but we have girls chat. I'm sorry. I love Luke starting fires. I don't even want to talk about this girl chat, but it's fine. So it's Danielle, Sierra, Amanda, Paige, and Hannah. So it's the normal 4 plus Danielle, which I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
But so Hannah immediately has to tell the girls about the convo she had with Luke.
Which she tells it wrong.
She tells it wrong. She's like, Luke doesn't even like Des.
Luke is so jealous.
Blah, blah, blah. He's so jealous. And I was like, this is very wrong. But I think the girls kind of get it as soon as Hannah says well, Luke's my ex-boyfriend. And everyone was like, well.
And Hannah says, well, Luke said he didn't hang out with the guys enough. And instead of saying what Luke actually said was, the house didn't really get to know him. And I think even if Luke had said that just for the guy's sake, the girls realized, he hasn't spent any time with the guys. He hasn't spent any time with us either.
Because that's what Amanda says. She's like, quite honestly, we didn't really get to know Des. You guys just hung out.
Hannah takes as a personal attack immediately.
Yeah. And Danielle also says the same thing. She's just like, you didn't give us a lot of opportunity. Robert every day woke up and went to the house and blah, blah, blah. And it was just different with Des.
Mm-hmm.
And Hannah's just you know what? I take this so personally because I've been with you guys for 5 weeks and I'm sick and tired of all you guys.
I wanted to spend, and they're like, no, that's fine. We're just we can't tell you we love him because we didn't get to know him.
Yeah. And um
Hannah then is
Danielle,
like whispering.
yeah.
She's like, Hannah, stop. Stop
Well,
taking it
this is
personally.
yeah. This is where Danielle says something about Robert and how Robert made an effort. And Hannah's like, yeah, well, I guess Robert's just more friendly than Des sucks. Blah blah blah. And I
Yeah.
was like, and Paige is literally like, stop getting
Like, chill
defensive.
out. Yeah.
So Amanda and Danielle are both like, you can't get mad at us because we have the like a feeling toward like you can't tell us
You
how we
asked.
feel.
And like you
Yeah.
asked for our opinion and now you're mad about our opinion.
Yeah. And so Amanda, listen, I love ballsy Amanda. She was such a doormat for the first like 9 seasons of Summer
Yeah.
House, even though we've only had 4 seasons before this. But for 9 seasons, she was just this fucking doormat. But now she's stepping up and she's basically like, listen, we love seeing you happy with Dust. But,
Mm-hmm.
and then Hannah interrupts Amanda. And
Yes.
Amanda's just
Yes.
finishing her train of thought, right? So Hannah interrupts first, but Amanda keeps talking, to which then Hannah is like, excuse me, Amanda, you need to let me
You're
talk. You're
interrupting
interrupting
me.
me.
I was like,
Oh, I got mad for Amanda. I could see Amanda
oh,
steaming and
this is
I
one
was
of
steaming.
my biggest pet peeves is when people get
Oh,
pissed about people interrupting, yet they're the ones who
they're
interrupt.
the ones interrupting. So Amanda's just like, whatever, whatever. I'm just getting comfortable. You like say your thing because she knows.
Yeah,
And
because she like lifts her legs up to sit like crisscross applesauce like
yeah,
style, and Hannah like thinks she's getting up and leaving, and she's like, "Oh, whoa!" And she's like, "No, I'm just getting comfortable. We're gonna be here
yeah,
for a
come
bit."
on, girl. And Hannah's like, you need to like stop interrupt. Like Hannah will not move on from being interrupted. She won't even
Ugh,
say her piece.
I
She needs
know.
to
It's
now
like we
give
could
a
have been
whole
done with
speech.
this.
She needs to give a whole speech on how she's being interrupted. And then she goes into how Des loved all the girls, but the guys are a different situation because Hannah told Des all about what Kyle did. And so now Amanda's like, oh my God,
Annoyed.
I thought we squashed this. So now you're making Kyle seem like the bad guy to a man who hasn't even really met Kyle.
Yeah. And he won't even give him time because of all the
Yeah.
shit you've said to him, which we thought we
Yeah.
squashed. Which, I mean, it doesn't even, you can just see that written on her face. She really doesn't even say anything because she's
Yeah.
trying not to piss Hannah off. I mean, it's just such a great person.
She is. And then Hannah's like, "Hey Amanda, if you're going to go for my boyfriend, I'm not going to let you do that." And Amanda's like, "I'm not going for your boyfriend. I'm going for you who didn't let us spend any time with your boyfriend." Which I love.
Yes.
Amanda's like, "I'm not going for your boyfriend. I'm coming straight for you." And I was
Yeah.
like,
It's because
"Oh,
it's not
Amanda.
his fault.
Oh, Amanda.
It
Get
really isn't
it?
like his
It
fault too
isn't. It isn't
much.
Des's fault. I mean, Hannah set it up, right? Hannah tells Des all these horrible things about Kyle. So then when Des shows up, Hannah's the one that doesn't want Des to hang out with anyone and like already told Des about all the awful things these people said. So of course Des
Doesn't
already
encourage
doesn't like
him.
Luke,
He
doesn't
doesn't
like
encourage him to
Kyle.
like go
Yeah.
be friendly with anyone.
No. So then Paige, like Hannah's getting really riled up, and Paige is telling Hannah to stop getting defensive because like Hannah's really not listening to anyone else.
Yeah.
Like she just won't. And then Amanda's like, no one's attacking you. We're just trying to like tell you our feelings. All you have to do is listen. And Hannah's over it. So she gets up and walks away, and Sierra follows her. Which I think that's great of Sierra. I would not have followed Hannah. I would have been like, whatever, fucking.
Which I hope like it's one of those things where it's like, well, then you hope that that like person who follows is like telling them what's actually happening, like the
Not just
reality,
agreeing. Yeah.
because Hannah is not in reality.
No. But that was how it ended. And now next week on the season finale, we get a Amanda and Kyle like mini wedding. And we play Jenga, and Lindsay and Steven fight, of course. And Steven's probably gonna leave again, of course. And Danielle tells Lindsay that um this is a problem. And Amanda is gonna ask Paige to be a bridesmaid, but not Hannah. Um, and Amanda says in like we get it for next week a interview where Amanda's basically like, if Kyle and Hannah aren't cool, then Hannah and I can never be cool,
Yeah.
basically. um and Hannah's pissed about not being a bridesmaid, and then kind of is also like mad at Paige because
Yeah,
Paige didn't stand up to Kyle or whatever that was.
yeah, and I think it's just like she finds out when Paige gives a speech, and so
That
they should have told
yeah.
her.
Listen, I want to like get this out now. I don't think it's that big a deal that Hannah's not a bridesmaid solely because I get it was always the three of them, but Amanda and Hannah to me were never that good of friends. It was always through Paige.
I think that's going to be a lot of people's sticking point. I think Hannah's seeing the writing on the wall that like Amanda and Paige are closer, which she always probably already knew, but it's that they didn't tell her because Hannah finds out when in Paige's speech. And I think that's what she's pissed about is not only did Amanda not say anything about like not being in the wedding and that Paige was, but Paige didn't even say anything. I think it's more hurtful that Paige did not say
they're finding
anything.
out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would never expect to be a bridesmaid in a wedding that I constantly come for the groom.
But you would expect to be told like your best friend is going to be in the wedding.
You're right. I don't know. We'll see. Well, let's talk about fun, not fun. Who's fun? So many people were fun.
Yeah.
I have two people I think were fun.
Okay. You go with one.
I don't know which one. Okay, I'm just gonna go because I think in the next few seasons we do, when we go back, I'm never gonna pick this person. I think Danielle is so fun.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I do too.
She has Robert. She told Hannah how it is. She's just chilling. She's maybe gonna get it in with a whip, but like also not because Robert doesn't want sex on camera.
Off camera in 1 week. We
get it. But her boyfriend's making a great impression. Everyone loves him. Guess has left, but Robert seems to be staying, which is also great.
Yeah, like, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Like Robert just seems like such a win. This is really Danielle coming into her own. She hasn't had a relationship in 10 years and she finally has this. And I think her and Robert are still together from her Instagram. So chef's kiss. I love.
Literally Robert's kiss.
Robert's kiss.
I really like your pick of Danielle. I think she was definitely very fun.
She's just fun. She's just fun.
Episode. This is hard because like there was a lot of people had like a pretty positive episode.
Yeah, this was a good episode for a lot of people.
I think I would have picked Danielle, but I want to do someone different. So despite a little tiff towards the end, I'm going to go Amanda because
that was my other one.
Her and Kyle are just like bomb. Love how happy they are, even though they kind of have to mourn their first wedding date. Like that's really difficult to like expect to get married in 2 weeks and just know it won't happen for like another year basically. But they just seem very happy. Yeah, like they don't need the day. They're really excited about the marriage, which I think is a huge shift from where their relationship used to be. And then she looked fabulous at Derby. She even took that horse race like a champ and won it. Who cares? There were barely any rules. Nobody was going by the rules.
No one had rules.
Oh, sorry.
Also, she looked great when the Derby shit arrived in that thong bikini. 10 out of 10. Her ass, not only are her boobs great, her ass is great. And she does not work out because I watched her Instagram live and someone asked her a question like, how do you work out? And she's like, I don't. And I was like, fuck you. Fuck you.
And I think she's still like standing up for herself without being rude. But she's not being like
good
rude.
For her. Good for her to stand up for herself. Like you saw Amanda from the beginning. She used to be such a doormat and now she's just like so in her own. I love it.
She's still herself while saying her opinions.
She was like 22 doormat and now she's like 26 together killing
fire. Yep.
Okay, who is not fun? To me there's two and I'm going to pick one of them. And you might pick the same person.
Well, I think I'm going to pick a different person from you. Okay. I have two people.
It's Hannah.
I agree. She's the most not fun, but I want to give a different person.
Yeah, she's just not fun. I
don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, she's just not fun. You know why she's not fun? She's not fun. She's just not.
Listen, she's very argumentative, and I get that. I feel like I am too. But at the same point, like she just buries herself in whatever is the person next to her. Like she does it with Paige too, even like where she just gets so caught up in just them.
Yeah. She can't, that she's like manipulating the girls with the whole conversation with Luke that she told the girls that it's false.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not great. And she can't take any kind of like feedback, and it's a mess.
Yeah. And
Girl's a
honestly, I'm
mess.
I'm looping Des in there because it's not like he's really even a main player or even around at all. So like I'm not even gonna pick him, by the
Yeah,
way.
I
It's not even worth a pick.
not
So
even worth
I'm
it.
going Lindsay because
Oh,
she was a super complainer about that freaking horse race, so it was
yeah, no,
not
she's the
fun.
worst. Not
She's
fun.
going psycho with Steven.
They're gonna have
Like
babies.
I don't understand, like that's
He's
not
coming
fun.
inside
Like
her.
you are
Also,
already like ready to marry him. And I'm like, you are just going off the rails.
yeah, also we did not talk enough how why did she tell Luke about this?
I don't know. I don't
Why
know.
was she like, hey man, Steven's coming inside me? And Luke was like, okay.
Not only like why did she tell him these things, but in that manner. Like she could have just
Yeah.
been like,
Yeah. We're having unprotected sex.
unprotected.
Instead,
Yeah.
she's like, hey man, let me give you the most graphic thing I can
I was
say.
like, okay, whoa.
Also, wasn't there rumors that they were hooking up? I wouldn't go to the
Yes.
guy I was maybe possibly rumored about hooking up
And
with.
then forcing him to take my ring size. And Luke, when
Yeah.
he left that,
Hey.
he goes, I guess I'll go tell Steven
Yeah, what do you want
her
me to do with
ring
your ring
size.
size? Oh, Lindsay already told Steven what her ring size. That
Yeah,
bitch,
immediately texted it to him.
she subtle is not in her vocab. She's like, hey, they're like in the bathroom and she's like getting ready and she's like, hey, by the way, size 5 for a ring. And he's like, okay. Like it's just the most awkward thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. She was not fun. She was second most not fun. Ugh, but whatever. We made it through this episode. Next week's the finale. It's gonna be so much fun. What do
And
we
then we
need
have
to
the
do?
reunion, and they released reunion looks already.
I can't wait. And then we have Winter House
This is the first live reunion, like where they get their
for Summer
own real
House.
reunion. Yeah, they
Yeah,
used to do it on Watch What Happens Live,
they
and
used
then
to
they
like
did the
not
Zoom
even
one.
have.
Yeah,
Like I'm pretty
no,
sure the first few seasons
it
they
was with
didn't even
Watch.
have one.
It was with Watch What Happens
Damn.
Live. So
I
what they
never
didn't
watched
get it.
any of them.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited. I can't wait for a good reunion. I love a reunion.
Me
Know
too.
that. We're reunion bitches. That honestly should have been our podcast network, was just reunion bitches. But oh yeah, okay. So I have Jackie's comments. Let me pull them up really quick. While you're waiting, please be sure to rate, subscribe, review, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. And also, please be sure to what's the other thing? Join our Patreon. Patreon.com.
Be like Jackie. Give us some questions, some responses.
Okay, Jackie. Oh, she left it nice and short. Thank you so much, Jackie, because I'm exhausted. Okay, so Jackie says those burns from Luke on Des. Damn. I agree. Des is gonna watch this back and be pissed.
Yeah, he was being a little too much in the
we could not stop laughing. Yeah, no. Luke was roasted. We cannot believe that next week is the finale. No. Ugh, I know this is such a good show, Jackie. Lindsay getting her ring size ready. What the fuck? Yeah, Jackie, as someone who's married, is this how it happened for you and Dustin?
What's weird is here's the thing: is Lindsay's been wanting to get engaged for so long. When did you think she would know that?
Wouldn't she know her ring size already?
We know ours, and we're not nowhere near there.
I just guessed. I was like, given my rings, I would assume that
I have like one 7. From high school that mine's a 7.
It's just whatever. Glad Danielle was honest with Lindsay. Not a good fit with Steven. Yes, like anyone with binoculars could notice this.
Let's not put a ring on it.
But it's hard. It's hard to tell Lindsay because Lindsay's very like, what I say goes. And Danielle's like, you're wrong.
Here's what's actually going on.
But Danielle's guy seems nice and chill, even with the house. We are so happy for her. I agree. I'm a big Robert person.
I wish that they were just slightly more interesting because I do want more.
Yeah, but that's what Jackie had to say.
There's too many crazies all around.
Oh, I love Robert. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I already did the housekeeping. This is the end. We'll see you for the finale next week. Thank you so much for listening. And we love you more than the house loves Hannah and Des. Basically.